Hi, I'm Kroglander, and welcome to part 1 of my Sonic Unleashed LP. Now this will be a slightly different LP, because I'll be doing 2 versions of the game, and showing you the differences between the 2. The 2 versions I'll be playing is the PS3 and PS2, and the PS3 version starts off with a quite fancy cutscene.
Sonic! I'm sorry. Really, look, go easy on me. I'll turn over a new leaf, I swear. Just give me a chance.
Well, this is new. Showing remorse, Eggman? If you played nice, I wouldn't have to break all your toys.
Gotcha!
What?
Oh, I've waited a long time for this. Success! It's just as the Gaia manuscripts foretold! The entity that was sealed within the planet has awakened. Now I just need to harness its power. Eggman Land will finally come to be!
You've really gone and done it this time, Eggman.
Ah, Sonic, that's a good look for you. Festive. So long, friend.
And that was one of my all-time favourite Sonic cutscenes, or pre-rendered scenes if you will. Very fancy, really up to like Pixar standard. But anyway, after that there's yet another cutscene where we'll be meeting a very important character.
What the heck is going on? Huh? Hey, are you okay?
I can't eat another bite.
Hey, pull yourself together!
Huh? Don't eat me! I taste bad!
You okay? Nothing broken?
Oh, I'm just fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Monster Guy.
Mr. Monster Guy? Looks like things have gotten pretty ugly.
Yeah, look at those teeth and those claws. What's your name, anyway?
I'm Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog. And you are?
Huh? What is my name? I don't know! I can't remember!
What? You forgot who you are?
Yup. I remember something falling from the sky, and everything just going all white. And then nothing. I can't remember a thing past that.
Uh-oh. Did I fall on him?
Oh man, what am I gonna do? What can I do? Where do I go from here? What'll I... I'm hungry.
Hey, don't worry. I'll help you get your memory back.
Really? You mean it?
Absolutely. I'm sure we'll find somebody who knows you if we look around.
Oh, thank you. You're the best, Mr. Monster Guy. I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog. Ha
Huh? Huh? What?
That was amazing.
Oh, but don't you worry, you'll be seeing that werehog form quite a lot throughout the rest of the game. Now, in the PS3 version, it teaches you the game by throwing you straight into a small tutorial level. where you just you can play around. It's fairly easy, and it sort of teaches you the moves as you travel through it, which I think is a good way of handling a tutorial. And it's very different from the tutorial they use in the PS2 version, but you'll see that shortly. Now this game does introduce quite a few moves for Sonic, one of them being the biggest one being of course the boost, which was first seen in Sonic Rush, but it's the first time it's made its debut in a home console 3D Sonic game. Although there were boost-like moves in previous games, the boost as we see it now is something very different for the franchise. And it is something which did change the gameplay, because this boost thing arguably makes Sonic more of a racing game than a platformer, which is something you'll see as I progress through the game. Now that's how the PS3 version handles the introductory level, and this is how the PS2 version starts. First of all, you do get the same fancy CGI cutscene, but you get it before the title screen, and it plays every time you start up the game, which I guess makes it more cinematic. And as you can see here, the PS2 version gets a slightly different title screen, which isn't really that much of a difference, just a little aesthetic choice. And here we see at the top my original file, my practice file, which they gave me Chip. And when I started up this file, I did wonder which character they're going to assign me, because they assign the little icons to each file. Will it be Pickle? Will it be Robotnik? Will it even be Orbot, the little robot sidekick? No, they gave me Amy Rose. Spoilers, she does appear in this game, but it's a small little guest appearance really. Because I know Amy gets a lot of hatred, which doesn't really bother me. I have nothing against the character. But I know people who seriously worry just by the fact that she makes an appearance in this game, which is something you should just really tone down. You don't have to play as her, she barely appears, so you really shouldn't have a problem with Amy Rose in this game. Just a brief cameo really. Oh, and after you start up a new file in the PS2 version, you get this cutscene where Sonic meets Chip. There's something you might notice, that in the PS2 version, those kind of cutscenes are not done with the in-game graphics. I think they were originally taken from the Xbox 360 version and exported as video files. And to me, that was a really clever thing to do. Because, well, if the cutscenes were made with the PS2/Wii graphics, they wouldn't look as good. And something I'll point out now, that I'm using the PS2 version just because it's the one I have at hand. Now, the PS2 version is nearly the same as the Wii version. The biggest differences being the controls, obviously, and the graphics. The Wii version does have superior graphics, as it well might. But design-wise, level structure, scenes, level design, boss design, what have you, the PS2 version and the Wii version are exactly the same. Now, to go back to the PS3 version, now that version is exactly the same as the Xbox 360 version. There's a slight difference in graphics, I believe. I think the 360 version has slightly better graphics. And I think that's because Sonic Unleashed was originally made for the Xbox 360 and then ported down to the PS3. I guess they give the 360 priority because that's the biggest seller. Well, that's the console most people have, and thus that's the version most people will buy. Which is a shame really for the PS3. I know something that's been going on in the PS2 version is that they've been giving me short missions to learn the moves of the game. And I won't lie to you, this can be a bit tedious at times. Because as you can see, I get a loading screen, a saving screen, a short mission that lasts like 20 seconds, and then another loading screen, another saving screen. And it just feels like the gameplay is being interrupted. But at the same time, I can appreciate what they're trying to do. They're trying to introduce the player to each move one at a time. Easily manageable chunks. So I do appreciate that. Although what is annoying is that Chip stops you in mid homing attack right here, as you can see. I can see why some people compare him to Navi. Although I don't think that's a fair comparison. And this will be something I'll talk about later, but I do really like Chip. I think he was a great character. And he has a good story, and I actually think Unleashed is one of the better stories from the Sonic franchise. Other Sonic games that might have just as good stories might be the adventure games, Sonic Adventure 1 and Sonic Adventure 2. And of course Sonic and the Black Knight has a decent story. And I guess Secret Rings has a good story too. It's just, even though it's simple, it's just, it does what it does very good. And this is probably in the same vein, because it's a simple story. The world's broke, we need to fix it. And we have this friend called Chip along. So really, there's not really many plot twists or turns, which is a good thing, really. And here we see the boost. Now, in the PS2 version, you'll see the bar fill up in segments. And when you press boost, you use all the boost from one glowing segment. So it kind of works a lot more like Turbo from a racing game. A turbo feature from a racing game. Whereas when you use it, you use that section. And I'm probably hesitant to use it in the PS2 version a lot more. Or I treat it like a racing game, where I only use the boost when I'm on a straight line. Now, I do leave in the loading screens in the first part, but that's something I get rid of in later parts. And here we see the slide move. Now, something that does occur to me is that if they're going to let Sonic slide, why not let him roll? But I guess programming in rolling physics would be a bit much. That, and in some of the later 3D Sonics, they seem to be less enthusiastic about programming in physics, or at least, you know, classic style physics from the 2D games, which is something I could understand, I suppose. I guess if they did have rolling physics, there's a chance you could just like roll left and right in 3D and just go all over the place, and it could be unpredictable, but whatever, doesn't matter. And here we have the quick step, which honestly I think is a move which should have been introduced a lot sooner in the series. You'll see now, it gives you the ability to move quickly from side to side. Probably taken from drag racing games. Oh, and I just love the camera angle there. They bring it in closer to the ground to give you a more dramatic feeling. But it just means my vision of what's coming upwards is obscured. And on the last level, there's a quick step section which uses that kind of camera angle, and I'm not too keen on it. But yeah, the quick step, a welcome addition to Sonic's moveset. Now, controlling Sonic in this game, it's a little bit slippery. It's not a huge issue, but that's probably because this game doesn't have too much platforming in it, which is arguably another issue. But yeah, Sonic doesn't move as tight as he could. in both versions of the game actually. Now they give us a full version of the tutorial level, and that's something that they do in the PS2 version. They usually make you play a full version of a level, but then they give you missions based upon it. Like you'll run through a full level, for example, and then you'll do a mission where you have to run through a section and collect 200 rings, or do a section where you have to complete it in under a time limit. Kind of similar to Sonic and the Secret Rings, that sort of mission-based setup. And honestly, you would think I would have a problem with it, or that I would find it cheap, but actually I do really like it. I like playing as Sonic in this game, and I don't mind if they use missions to extend the gameplay. And really, the idea of using multiple missions on one level is something that's been used in platformers for ages. Hell, you know, racing games make you run laps, go around the same piece of track several times, and no one complains about that. But anyway, we've seen how both games handle their tutorialness. Please join me again for the first real level of both versions.